would love to hear the report back from the contemplations of staff on that particular issue, but on all the other issues. I just want to go through clearly why I think that these all need to be discussed by staff, and I'm happy to see a report or a referral that would ask them to contemplate all of them. I simply talked about the first 6 months of building permits because I am concerned about the 4 plans that are underway, and whether or not we have contemplated in this city. The question I posed to our speaker, what is your expectation? You're involved in one plan. What is the expectation? You are talking about in that plan about how much growth, how many more additional people that particular part of the city needs to accommodate. Is that discussion on the table? It ought to be, because that's the basis upon which you zone and rezone, or go through a process including public hearings of a different kind of application for upzoning or rezoning. So the 6 months is because of simply the timing for the 4 plans that are upcoming. And to know how much growth has already been accommodated, knowing for sure development permits are not just about residential development. They are about all forms of development. But we have approved every single development permit for upzoning that has gone to public hearing since my time on council. And they have included many more units of residential housing than would be under the current planning. So how many more units is that in total? Yes, the data is there. If you track it, it's just not consolidated except on an annual basis in some cases. CACs, development, DLCs, we know that on an annual basis, but we don't know on a project by project basis. When we come to a decision-making table, what's the gap, especially for upzoning, what's the gap between the amount of DCLs and CACs we've collected and what we are going to need to supply to the citizens of this city in terms of additional services? What is the cost going to be? We've got a budget coming up. I think we need to know that information too. The criteria for limits to growth, I've handled being built out. I put that phrase in there because people on the street are talking about it, especially regarding the West End. It's a subject, so I think we need to be talking about it at the council table, and staff need to be talking about it amongst themselves and with us. And finding the mechanisms to track the amount of population growth, and particularly housing pricing. I really want to see a discussion of that. I am really tired of hearing for every new upzoning that just putting more housing on the market is going to lead to lower prices. I have no evidence, no information, and no mechanism myself to track that. I think the bright minds on staff may be able to come up with something that allows us at least to evaluate as we add more units of housing, be it rental or condos, what has happened to housing pricing? And is it indeed having a net positive impact in terms of bringing it down? And I know there are other mitigating circumstances in terms of general economy, etc. But I think it's good information. I'd be happy to support the referral.